my name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at ASTRO's track with you. We have a dance practice to look at. This is also a Patreon request. Shout out to Lonnie for the request. I'm very, very pumped for this. I always love being able to take a look at ASTRO, and this one is going to be of no exception. So let's go ahead and check it out. Yes, with a water bottle on the ground. Come on. Ooh. I actually really like the fact we get to see this from the corner, because we get to talk about different things. Ooh, do you see the crispness of that line? Beautiful. Cool. Nice. Wow. Nice. Oh, I love me a good syncopated pas de bourrée section, you know? It's just nice. It just definitely makes you want to reintroduce the track or that section in a nice way where you're building it. Fun. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah! Come on! Oh no, one of them's off screen. Come back! Fun. No, literally. I understand that. Okay, from the top here, like I mentioned before, I do like the fact that we're not looking at it just from the straight front, because we get to really appreciate just how clean it is, because cleanliness is not really just the ability to have all of your movements matched to the range and timing, but I would even equate it to your formations are very clear, easy to read, and the dynamics that you're choosing to show through the usage of levels and formations in transitions are very well established. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, because we talked about that diagonal that I mentioned before. Fantastic example. So we're here not really doing anything, nice and still, picking up the foot really nice, good tension, dropping it down, and from there, as soon as that foot drops, it triggers the head to want to rotate as well. Then it goes and they go heel toe, looking at their respective foot, which is nice. And I think just my front guy, my front individual didn't look down at the ground, you know. Now I know their names, I believe, for the most part, but because of just like the blurriness of this, just out of courtesy, we'll just go off of feature, and that's just how I'll call it today. But I like the tension there, just a little bit of pulse, and then we have that snap sound, so it definitely has that crispness that we have in the upper body. So that was nice. The pull in, and notice that we have this breath that's added in. Definitely feel like we're maintaining some degree of flow or breathability about it. Now, are they breathing? I sure hope so, because you need that when you sing. And then from here, he does a nice little point, gets everybody to reset and a ball change. Head rotates. Notice that it was a little bit faster than the first time whenever they had it settle with the pickup and the tension. Here it just was more of a more whip around, which was nice. Bringing it up. Some of them have it up to the shoulders, some have it to the chest. That is a great example of either a range discrepancy or a movement discrepancy. Then that's, you know, so minimal, but it's definitely something, it looks different, right? And then he also is dropping the other side. Comes up, nice little shampoo as we transition, really nice clean transition between the lines. Then we take the hand, we flip it over, and then we use that to cause tension to bring it back up to the body. Then we do a double shampoo going from the back to the front, traveling closer into making it more of a clump. Of course, my back guy in the feature in the back, he is going to stay up. Everybody else is going to drop lower. Really good go-to way to showcase your feature. Now, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of these things, like, you're not going to notice this kind of stuff whenever you have a front shot. That's why sometimes some competitions have not just a front judge, but a side judge, where they look to see, is your formation in alignment? And here it's subtly off, but you would not be able to catch that at all if you were looking at the front. So that's still very subtle, very impressive. So that was nice. And it does give the impression that they're a completely different diagonal. I don't know if they're trying to go parallel or what, but it does feel like we're, you know, creating a little V here, which, I mean, is totally fine. It's up to the preference. And you're not going to see it from this side anyway. I love that's what we are here, but I digress. My point still stands. So I like the little bleed over, going from traveling here, here, here. He's number 4 and then number 5. I like his walk around, and they're all being influenced by his choices. So it makes sense why we went with this guy first versus this guy, because we went travel, 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 because of where he's going and how we're going to perceive it in the depth. It's going to naturally feel better to go, yeah, like that. Cool. From here, moving on, I like the little bleed around. Notice that everybody's intentional all the way to the degree of where their foot is angled. I really love that, and I just appreciate the attentiveness of it, because it's just those little details, yes, are very tedious, but I end up appreciating them, especially if you're known for synchronicity. That's kind of like your standard at this point, but I really like it. It's cool. And then they present the hand, and then we do a nice little move up with the chin. That's fun. And then now we're in a really nice, it's just a filled in V. So you have a V and then you have a fill in, which is nice. Now whether or not this is going to be balanced, I couldn't tell you because of the angle in which we're presented. I'm assuming we are going to have a subtle gap right here because we have one person filling in this window is how we're going to be seeing him. So, but from here, I like the picking up, boom, boom, really nice on the pickup, and then the presentation out looks really fun. Then we go and we represent those hands out to the side, then we drop them down to the chest, and then we're getting lower and lower using the lunge, and then we also pick up that head again to rotate it through, hit, boom, shoulder, shoulder, we're here for it. They go cross, 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 down, up, really nice. Then we go head, head, doo-doo-doo, little ball change with a kick ball change, which is nice. And then we reset that hand out. I appreciate that we have our chest in opposition of what this arm's being presented as. Totally fun. This part, syncopated, goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm doing it about 3 times. Then you have subtlety from your next feature. That's totally fine. And they go, have a nice chill, what is it? They're just kind of resetting, I guess is the best way to word it. And then we go, I like this. Normally you would see people trace it, but they're kind of checkpointing their trace, which I think is really fun. And so they go over, and then they go through, I think they went through the middle, like through the diaphragm on the second one. So they travel up, and then they're going from the pocket, and they travel diagonal. So it goes around the world, and then it goes up like a sash. So that was cool. And then they go and reestablish, do-do-doon, do-do-doon. They're rotating with the chest, not just the arms. So it's going to feel more full that way because you're involving the torso, not just your extremities. So that's cool. I like that. And then everybody has a party with a jump, except for our next feature. He turns, which is fine. I love that. Then they all do their chest towards your feature. There is a chance that the spacing's a smidgen off for my guy right here. He may be too far out because of the angle. If you're looking at angle, how their distance from him versus his distance from here, it definitely feels like he's further away from my guys here versus him, if that makes sense. So I could be wrong though, but that's fine. Not a problem. I like that. and then they go. He brings his arms out and he pulls them up. They take their hands and they pull their hands up too. And then they go and they rotate around with a nice trace around, just like they've done before. And they go da-da-da, da-da-da-da. So I like the little guns on that too. He rolls, da-da-dee-dee, and like that pulse as well. Then they go out and down, and we pick up that foot, which is super fun. The crispness of that with the breathability. So that's a big thing we're noticing here, is it's an accent of crispness. So it's like, you see it as a picture moment, and then you let them kind of settle out of it. I love those choices. Those look really nice. And then you have the tension, bing, bing, bing. So I like the like subtle ISOs going on with the hands, and then having your feature not do any of that looks really cool with a step out. Then they slide through. I am shocked he didn't kick that water bottle out. That was well done. Good compromise for that. They come up. I do think one of my guys came up a smidgen too early compared to everybody else. Or let's look. Slide. Yeah. So that's my little note. So subtle. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The little kick there, he has some nice subtlety over on stage left, and everyone does a little kick to kind of create some separation. They go swing, swing with the arms, and they rotate the hand, and they pull, and I love the commitment to the head to look. It makes us want to look where they're looking. Really nice. Then they bring it in, da-da-da. I think we go more on the shoulder on that point, but we have it placed right there by the pelvis, where you see a lot of times you see people do like the hip thrust, things like that, but I think we chose the shoulder more so to hit that sound. Yeah, da-da-da, and we go. Nice, notice that we're kind of rocking this hip, the right side, and we're taking our hands and we're moving them down, which is super fun. And it goes, da-da, and I like the dip on that as well. Then we go into a little monastery out of it too. This tension was super nice as well. Then from here, we use this arm as a fixed point, and we're taking our leg and we're kind of brushing it up as we're taking the arm and doing the same as well, which is fun. So it's very complimentary. I love those types of things. Feels more full body engaged. Then we go represent, do the same thing. It gives the impression of that. And then we sit it from one side to the other. Yeah, same thing 2 times. Nothing crazy. The kick there, boom, boom. Nice with a crossover with the hands placed. And then he's having a nice stoic moment, brushing his hair out of his way. Arms go, they rotate around, hitting it down, bringing it to the back. The pulse, the tension on that looks really nice as well. Yep, da-da-da. I like that choice as well. The look, head, head, little body roll. It's a click to the chin, looks really nice. The throw is great. I like that he had to, my guy right back here, he had to make sure that he ain't gonna be running into that wall, so he had to push off of it to make sure he's in the right spot. The little kick there, little pot of erase, love it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep. And we take the hands, boom, nice little rotation around. He has his subtlety moment. We're here for it. The pull is great. The throw is also really nice to see, and notice that my feature, he goes to the side and then up. Everyone else goes side both times. Very clear for us to see that he was a very clear feature, I guess is my point. So that was really nice. The presentation of the hands up to the sky. Then we drop it down, we look, boom, and now we're going into something stiff and sharp into smooth to kind of travel the energy down. So to our hands, so whenever we throw it, we can see it. And then we cross the arms right in front of the stomach. We look, doom, doom, 2 little ticks up with the head. Then we go kickball change, presentation, just like we did before. Another person, he's walking from the side. Same syncopation, boom, 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 boom. From my rest of my group, he's walking forward, no problem. I think it could be the same formation. Nothing crazy. So they all have this moment. They drop down to the ground very clean with the knee direction, even having the same foot propped up, then having their leg fully extended. My note, though, as you can tell with one of our guys, his is a smidgen more bent, so that would be my note there. Just to work on that. But he's technically my very far back. He has more stability because of how he has it placed, and others have it straight, but it's like a super slight bend, if anything. And then from there, they bring it right back in, they rotate it around to the other side, they go arm, drop, rotating, or creating a nice cylinder kind of rotation, and then they pulse it. I love that. And they have their moment as they push that chest forward and they sit in those knees, and then a nice little accent going on with the chest, super fun. Then they pulse, boom, boom. I like that, where they go arms, and then they take the space that's in the outside, and they pull it in. Really well done on that. Rotating it around, and we go. We have our moment. That crispness is super fun. Just in general, dynamics on this are really nice. The double, the bum, 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 and on the third one, so he does more of like a chest bop or pop or something similar to that. And then on the third one, we break away from it to do a nice different reveal for our next dancer. And it goes nice on the marches on that. And then we go set it back, click, 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 just like we've already seen. So it's a different core setup, which I really like. And they all come up. He comes up the same way, the same quickness as before. It could be his traveling, I don't know. A little kick on that. He gets to have his subtle moment with his point, his little moment with his hands, the swing. Dun, 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 dun. Then where you at? Where you at? So it's the same. The hips really help with the lean on that as well. Really create some just nice texture choices. This is a really stiff monastery. Normally you would see your upper body involved, but I don't mind it because of the overlapping crispness that they're showcasing in other forms throughout the choreo. So I'm just gonna treat that as a stylized choice, not a they don't do the monastery, if that makes sense. So that was fine. I like the swing on that, just like we've seen before. New spot in. Look how clean this formation is. Gosh, it's awesome. You can see it all the way through. That's so nice. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Nice. Same as before. Some people keep their arm out, some drop it a little bit lower. That'd be a little synchronicity kind of cleanliness thing to focus on. The pulls. Yes, cheer, you're almost there. So you have your 3 little groupings over here. They're nice and stable and subtle. I'm assuming they are, you know, the vocalists over here. They're having a nice dance to justify the other parts of the music that we're not hitting quite yet. Oh no, just kidding. The opposite, which I love the fact I just got rickrolled there. So they're the ones that are performing, justifying and everything, and they're not doing anything. Huh, cool. And they go up, ding, ding, da, na, 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 and I like that. Really nice on the weight changes on that. And then notice, they do a little speed change with the head, and as they carry that through, and then we have this other group pop right back in while they're still going. I love that. It's definitely a really good way to introduce multiple harmonies through the choreo, and then also it's like that he's finishing his note, next person starts, but the choreo is also matching that. Beautiful musicality for that. They all come up. I like the little swing on that. The pull away, and then you have somebody else come in. Here we go. He's about to have his moment. Let's freaking go. And ha. Yes, and we're having a throw with the hands. We do a nice little kick. Does it feel like we're getting sturdy? Almost, but not really. We do a kick, and then we scuff the kick to reset out. And nice little shoulders. They drop. He turns. So it does look like we're going for like a coupe kind of turn. Honestly, I feel like this setup feels more like figure skating than it does actual like jazz or ballet or a studio style. But that was gorgeous how he finished and landed right there into a jazz split. We love it. Where you at? And just for me, like, way to go on his inner thigh stability and the fact that he can healthily do that, because some people can pull something so quickly whenever you do that sequence. So that was super well done. So I think he was doing, if you were to equate it to the studio styles, I would say more along the lines of like a coupe turn, but it wasn't really wrapped or in that type of coupe position with the foot. Normally you'd have it with the heel, with the foot winged out in the back, or you'd have it wrapped. And then with how he finished, it felt like a double tour, right? But all of that structure felt very similar to whenever you see people in figure skating do those sequences. So that's why I give it that. I like that double. Or actually, how many of those do? They do like 5, right? And then they go and they clap on the tail end. I like that hit. So I like the pulse on that. They go and they hit and they do single over to the other side. Very fun and communal. Makes me want to enjoy what they're doing. And they go the heel, and then they have the opposite arm complementing to the outside, which is really cool. And they do just like a subtle little butterfly to do a ball change finish. And they're like, I love it. So that's a hold. And then notice they all like slump out of we're done. Goodness gracious. Yes, and there's always someone who goes to the floor, and that would be me every single time. So way to go. Yes, we had like 3 people go to the floor on that. Wow. So in general, I really like this. I like the fact that we got to see it from this vantage point, and I bet this one was a really fun one to see in concert. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Thank you, Lonnie, for the request. Like I said, I don't have just one person on Patreon. I have 2 that request Astro every single month for their tier, and it always means the world to me that I get to have Astro on my schedule as much as I do. It's so fascinating and fun, and I hope you guys who are also Arohas as you guys enjoy whenever these come out on YouTube if you're not on Patreon. If you want to be a part, if you want to be my third person, or if you want to be somebody that is, there's another group and you're like, Jess, I really want you to look at this group and I just haven't had the time to be able to look at them yet, then Patreon, there's 2 tiers that I have that may be good fits for you, that guarantee requests, and even on one of them you may get a Jess take or a dance tutorial out of it as well. So all that's there information wise, but if you just want early access to everything like this one, everything that I make or record in real time goes on Patreon. There's not really a set schedule, just whatever I have recorded that day just gets uploaded. So some days it's like 15 videos and some days it's only 2. So if you're like, Jess, I love that energy, Patreon's perfect. But of course we follow a schedule on YouTube nonetheless. Once again, my name is Jess and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.